Hello, Collective. Thank you for joining me on my channel, Divine Insight. We are a fairly new channel, but we are not new to the business. I decided to come on and start doing our offering services via TikTok and Instagram. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to benefit from a deal that we're having up until Sunday, which is, of course, for your yes or no questions, which will be offered indefinitely. But until I reach a certain point on TikTok, I'm not able to do lives just yet. So if you want your free yes or no question, feel free to inbox me or email me, and I'll be more than happy to respond to your yes or no question. And I'm offering this because it's a business and you want to build your network, and I want to make you comfortable with the guidance that and clarity that I'm providing you. So that is one thing that I am offering up until Sunday. And then the other thing is, of course, 3 questions for $15. Again, you can email me. In-depth love readings are financial and career readings, $50. And then if you have an emergency reading that you need and you could wait 24 hours for a response, I believe I put $150 for that. And then if it's the same day emergency reading, urgent reading, I believe I put $300. So please take advantage of that. Your support is appreciated. We're going to go ahead with a collective read. Something I noticed while doing the individual readings is there is a common theme of some couples going through a phase of no contact. And I think overall, we as people are just getting tired as we age and mature of the repetitive narcissistic behavior. And so I didn't want to do another necessarily collective read about the no contact or no communication with your partner. But I do want to ask collectively, and I'm going to do it by group. So I'm going to do it by fire, earth, air, and water, starting with the fire signs. Spirit, what don't you know about your partner? What don't you know, or what will you be finding out about your partner, fire signs? Spirit, provide clarity and truth for the fire signs. What don't you know about your partner? What don't you know? So it still, to me, seems like it's following the overall theme of the individual read. But the first card that came out was the cutting out and the separation card and stopping patterns. So based off the question that I asked, what don't you know about your partner is they are working, fire signs, on themselves. They are trying to cut out the toxicity. They are in introspection and working on identifying the traits and characteristics that they need to improve so that they can bring stability and security to this connection. Yes, that's exactly what they're doing. Let's see what else they got for us. Oops. So they want a union. Ultimately, whoever your partner is, you may have experienced some ups and downs, and you may have felt like you were being backstabbed in your connection, and which brought on a lot of pain. I don't know if that's from cheating or they weren't being emotionally available. They weren't making time for you, prioritizing other things. It could be them prioritizing work or friends or organizations they may be in before you, not planning dates. It could be different things. But it ultimately brought on heartbreak, and for some of you, a separation. And as we learned earlier, if you watch some of the previous or looked at some of the previous reads that I highlighted, it resulted in communication stopping completely because of some form of deception or lies or emotional or them not being emotionally available. But ultimately, they do want the union with you. And the separation or the difference that you're experiencing has brought them to the conclusion, after being in introspection, which means being in their head, thinking about it, they're coming to the conclusion that they need to change some of their behaviors. Now, there is a small portion or a percentage of people that where your partner is not self-aware and they are still going through this transformation. And because they're not self-aware, the relationship comes off very one-sided. They might love bomb you. They might have come in heavy at the beginning of the relationship and then fallen off. Or if this is a long-term relationship or you've been in it for a while, they may have been very narcissistic, very selfish. Everything was about them. You really fed into this connection, into this person, and when you needed them the most, they did the bare minimum. They weren't fully committed. You may have been fully committed to the connection, and they may have still been partying and enjoying the single life versus doing what they needed to do. But at this point, it looks like many of you, even if you have taken a step back from the relationship, you're trying to maintain a positive mindset, and so are they. But more so, they're trying to maintain a positive mindset because, one, they're uncertain about what your next move is going to be if you haven't been communicating with them. And that's not typical for y'all to do to them, right? And so, especially the ones that were deeply in love with this person and had heavy feelings. So you taking a step back and minimizing your communication kind of has them startled. You're kind of shaking the table a little bit. And so they're trying to manifest you back in. They're trying to maintain a positive mindset and trying to see what they can do to, yes, start considering working on the certain characteristics about themselves so that they could heal the toxicity or the toxic traits that they're bringing and bring forth stability to the connection. But there is some that still haven't made the change yet. So you want to make sure that you're giving them an opportunity to do the work. You're not just stopping and saying at the first sight of them running after you or chasing you, saying, okay, I'm gonna take him or her back. Don't do that. You're gonna get disappointed. If you want a good opportunity in your relationship for a fresh start, you need to allow them to do the work. You need to allow them to do the work. You could be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, or an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. But right now, your focus needs to be on releasing the burdens of this relationship and allowing them to do the work. In order for you to have your dreams come true and for radical changes to come about, they need to be self-aware of how they're coming off in the connection. Okay? Let's see what else Spirit wants to tell you about this connection. What don't they know? What don't they know about the partner? Is there anything they don't know about the partner? Your partner has a fear of abandonment. So there's some codependent traits about your partner. Some of them may not necessarily be in love, but they've gotten used to having you there and the things that you do for them, that they fear losing that attachment. It's pretty much like, well, if he or she doesn't do it, who will? I'm not prepared to separate and have to go find somebody else to fill their shoes. I'm comfortable. So you may have been investing more in this connection than your partner has. And again, this is a small few of you, or this is not for everybody. Please take what applies. And if it doesn't apply, then ignore it, right? Because this is a collective read. But also be aware that sometimes when you hear readings and the reader highlights different traits or characteristics about what we say your partner, the roles can reverse. You can be that partner that's in the wrong. So if you know that there's toxicity that exists in the relationship and your partner has expressed not being happy, challenges in the connection, wanting to take a break, patterns have changed and they're starting to retreat or are starting to not communicate as often, it's 9 times out of 10, you are the problem. So when you hear these readings, sometimes take an opportunity and say, hey, am I the toxic person in this connection? Am I the one that's not listening? Am I the one that's prioritizing everything else other than my partner? Is my partner giving to me, and making time for me and trying to plan things with me, and I'm constantly rejecting him or her? And if you are that person, ask yourself, why am I doing that? Am I really into them? Do I really want this connection? Or am I attaching myself to someone because of what they're doing for me? If that is the case, you are using someone and you need to do self-evaluation. That means that you have codependencies. And if you do end up chasing that person, the only reason you're trying to get them back is to use them. And that's inappropriate on your end. So it's important to be self-aware. But it's also important not to be an enabler to toxic traits in people. Don't be afraid to be alone and never be afraid to say no. There is a level of unconditional love here, but again, there's a lack of fairness and affection being returned from both parties. So you could love someone and care about somebody and not be in love with them at all. You love them for what they do for you. You love them because of who they are and what they have. But genuine love, it doesn't feel like the partner feels like you love them, or you may feel like they genuinely love you. They just love what they do for you, and you allow them to stay, or vice versa, because out of fear of abandonment, fear of losing them, fear of starting over, fear of being alone because of your age. But the realization is, the connection needs time, not necessarily the connection. The two individuals involved, the two parties involved, need to take a step back and heal. They need to self-evaluate, which is what I just highlighted for all of you. And so, again, I feel like this message really correlates with the no communication reads that I posted earlier. So take a look at those if you haven't had an opportunity to. But in order for this connection to move to the next phase, everyone has to heal their inner traumas and their inner child. Things that happen in your childhood, things that happen in previous relationships, you cannot carry that into this new relationship. A lot of times we go through things in our past relationships, and when we immediately see those characteristics in a new relationship, we shut it down, which we should, right? We should, because that's our protective mode. But when we do that, we have to also be cautious that we're not blaming another person or making another person responsible for things that they haven't done to you. That's one side of the avenue that I want you to look at, or one side of the story. The other side of the story is, we want to make sure that we're not ignoring red flags just so that we're not alone. I feel like a lot of people, a lot of us, as we age, we think our time is running out. And we the first person that gives us true attention or attaches themselves to us, we go all in for, versus fully vetting them and seeing if they're worthy of our time and the investment. And then we get in this relationship and we learn that, damn, I'm miserable, right? So be careful of that. And then you're months in or years in, and you're afraid to detach yourselves because of what other people would think. But you've ended up attaching yourself to someone that really has a fear of intimacy and is a runner and incapable of committing fully. And now you settled, and you probably missed out on your forever person. So be cautious of that. The last card that came out is Cutting Ties. Some of you have a connection where this is quite accurate, and the advice that Spirit is giving you is you're going to get to a point where you're going to have to leave well enough alone, and you're going to end up walking away. You're going to come off as the bad guy. The person that was treating you bad is going to try to make you feel miserable for choosing you. And in that moment, you need to hold your head high and say, screw them, right? Screw them. Fire signs are known for being energetic, bold, and daring. And they attract a lot of people with those characteristics. Don't allow someone else's demons to drain you. So take your energy back. Take your control back. And focus on your stability, mental stability, and financial stability, and let them go. Okay? Let them go. Let's get some angel. Let's see if it's a message in here. I done dropped my cards. Let's see. Yeah, reconsider the relationship that you're in and see if it's bringing you the outcome that you deserve or that you wanted. Right now is not the right time for you to probably be in a relationship with this person. And again, work needs to be done on both parties so that they can heal. And potentially you might have the opportunity to come back together later if that person does the work and if you do the work that's necessary. Ultimately, whatever you decide is up to you. And within the next few months, let's see what they say within the next few months. It says get more information. So let me pull my other cards. Within the next few months, you got something happening within the next few months. Let's see what it is. You all want to use this shit? What's happening within the next few months? The Spirit. In the next few months, you're going to go through a transformation. And it says awaken to your true self. Embrace the transformation and make some hard decisions. Because you will be moving forward with determination and you'll end up having a victory. So I think you're going to end up meeting somebody else that fulfills you. And it seems like you're manifesting the desires you want. You're manifesting financial independence and stability. You're going to be celebrating success that may be in your career, or if you started a business or a new project, you may end up being successful with that. Your money's going to start looking different. Your overall emotions and how you come off to people and how you present yourself, you're going to start looking more fulfilled and better within the next few months. So I would say take this time to regain your strength and focus on you, fire signs, and all will pan out. All will pan out. Yep. And it sounds like financially. So this connection may have drained you financially. Somebody might have been investing financially in someone and they need to cut ties immediately so that they can have happiness and save their money. So that is the messages, fire signs, that I have for you on what you don't know or what you need to know. It sounds more so spiritual guidance for this month. Take the rest of this month to yourself. Enjoy the month of October. If you went to a HBCU, it's officially homecoming season. Go enjoy your lives. And if you need a personal reading, I'm here and available. The week of October 11th, towards the end of that week, I think the 8th through the 11th, I really won't be doing readings because I will be enjoying homecoming, but prior to that and right after, I'm here and available. If you do need an emergency reason, I will make emergency reading. I will make myself available, but please take advantage of the 3 card readings are the free yes or no while you can. Have a great day. Bye-bye.